Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Today we're continuing to go on with the June 2023 Course of Fire for NRL22. This is the third stage in the Course of Fire. It is called Summertime Flies. And this stage is probably going to make or break the match. So if there's anything that you take from these videos, know that this stage will probably be the decider. So let's find out why. Let's take a look. So the course description is as follows. On the start signal, you'll take a prone supported position and engage the targets with one shot each, large to small, far to near. So the 1 inch, the 3/4 inch, the 1/2 inch, and then the 1/4 inch. You'll then switch to support side and engage the targets with one shot each in reverse order, near to far, small to large, so 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1 inch. You'll then transition to strong side again and engage the near 1/4 inch target and then the far 3/4 inch targets with one shot each. Support side means support eye, shoulder, and hand. This is also the tiebreaker stage. So if you're one of the top competitors or you like going fast, you're going to be focusing on trying to get a good time. However, I'll put the target sizes up here. These are the hardest targets to hit in the match. So we have the added stress of the time variable, which I want you to just throw out the window and just focus on making hits, because I doubt the match will come down to the tiebreaker if you clean this stage. Like if you clean this stage, you can probably clean most of the other stages, or at least score 90% of the shots on the other ones. This is where I think you can really gain ground and make up a lot of points. So because we have two different racks, KYL racks, one at 45 yards and one at 60 yards, the target sizes are like relatively close to each other and they're pretty darn small. So remember last month we were doing the KYL rack at 35 yards. So we're 10 yards further, pretty difficult. So I would recommend, this is a prone stage, not much to talk about prone strategy. Just pick your favorite bipod and rear bag and get settled and make clean hits. Again, not worrying about time factor. I would absolutely dial for each set of targets. So we're gonna start at the far, and my dope for that would be 3/10. So I would dial 3/10. I would set my parallax prior to the stage starting. I'm going to get down and I'm going to engage those two targets, the 1 inch and the 3/4 inch. Then I'm going to dial down to actually minus 1/10 of a mil, so down 1/10, and then readjust the parallax, get everything settled, and then engage the next two targets. So the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch. Now, support side, that's another thing that this stage throws in. This is why people are going to lose a lot of points on this stage. And the reason is because it's combining everything, time factor, small targets, support side. So support side, I know a lot of people struggle with support side, so that's where I really want to focus on in this video, is the techniques that it's going to make you succeed. So remember, the first 4 shots, you're on the second bank, the further bank of targets first, 1 inch 3/4. Then you go to the first bank, the closer bank of targets for 1/2 and 1/4. And then you're going to go support side and do reverse order. So you're going to go 1/4, 1/2, right? So because of that, let's say I'm on my 3rd and 4th shot, right? So close bank, KYL targets, I'm right there, I engage, hopefully I impact. Now 1/4 inch target, engage. Now after you engage that target, regardless of what happens, you know you're gonna go to support side next. So I'm gonna actually just hold that follow through a little longer. So I'm holding, okay, everything is set up. What I would do here is I would back off the magnification to something maybe even around like 12 power, and I'll explain why in a second. And I'm going to come back on the scope without moving, and I'm just going to make sure that the rifle, if you have a rear bag, it's probably going to settle a little bit, but make sure it settles vertically. You don't want to move the bag away from the target, okay? And I'll tell you why. Some people can see where I'm going with this, but I'm going to back off the power. I'm still completely lined up, right? Back off the power and make sure the rifle comes to rest basically in the same vertical plane as the target. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm simply going to shift over. Now I know the target is lined up at the target I'm going to engage, the 1/4 inch KYL target. So now it's just a matter of getting my left eye and left trigger finger to engage. This bolt would be back, right? So I know it's lined up. So I'm not going to be hunting for targets, which is some of the hardest thing, right? Trying to find the eye box in the scope and then hunting for targets with your non-dominant eye. So I'm going to come down gently. Now I'm going to use my left hand for the trigger. My right hand is now squeezing the bag. So without trying to move the rifle, I'm just gonna gently look at the target, come straight down, look at the scope cap, basically draw a line, look at the top turret, look at the eyepiece with my left eye. Sometimes it helps to close your dominant eye. So maybe close my right eye, come down. Remember, the target should be in the same plane. Okay, now I see the eye relief. My left hand is on the trigger. I'm not engaging the trigger at all. My right hand comes in to squeeze the bag, and I should just have to squeeze so the rifle comes, the back of the rifle comes straight up, and I should be on target. Why did we turn down the magnification? We turned down the magnification because it gives a more forgiving eye box. It's easier for your eye. It doesn't have to be perfectly, you know, that 3.4, 3.7 inches exactly away from the ocular housing, right? When you zoom out, the eye relief becomes much more forgiving. So we zoomed out. Now we found the target, found the eye box. We see the target, we squeeze. Now, if we want, we can take our left hand. You don't want to move your right hand because it's controlling your elevation. We're going to take this. If you want, you can zoom in. You might have to shift a little bit back and forth because of the eye box. Remember, it's not very forgiving and you're not really used to shooting on this side. Okay, now we got it. Now, here's another thing. Once you find your target, the bolt's not on the left side if you're a right-handed shooter. So what the heck do? You don't want to let go of your right hand. Notice I haven't moved it this whole time. I don't want to let go. So I can either do two things. On the target, I need to close the bolt. I can come over the top and down, right? Trying not to disturb the rifle as much as possible. Now we're locked and loaded, and now I can engage. Boom, right? Or, and it sounds silly, but you can kind of reach around and go from underneath, right? So I can come up here, and I can close the bolt, pull it down. I'm still right there. And engage, right? And then same thing, I'm gonna hold that follow through on these shots because it's much harder on your support side. You're not used to it, it's okay, right? I'm gonna hold that follow through. I'm gonna open the bolt, eject the round. If you do it this way, be careful that your hand doesn't block the spent casing, right? And jam things up. And I'm gonna just move over, come over here, lock it down. I want full control of this right hand. The whole time I wasn't moving this right hand for elevation control. And I think that's the key to success on this stage. You know, even if you can hit the first 4 shots, right? Strong side. And the last 2 shots, which are also strong side. People are gonna mess up a lot of things. One, they're gonna rush because it's time stage and they want bonus points for some reason when, you know, each hit is 10 points and each second is 0.1 points, right? So forget that. 2, people do not practice support side as much as they should. Very important to do so because stages like this are going to make or break the match for you. The match is going to be won or lost on this stage. So we have 4 support side shots, and hopefully all those techniques I had, remember, after the 4th shot, keeping the rifle exactly on the target because we're going to re-engage that same target again, right? And then simply coming into the rifle, and when we squeeze the bag to raise the rifle, it should be right there, using the left hand. Now we can zoom back in, right? We started zoomed out for better eye relief so we can find the eye box faster. Then we can zoom in because it's a very small target. We probably want a little bit more magnification. So we're zoomed in. Now, what do we do with the bolt? We use our left hand. We can go over the top, close this way. We can go underneath, open and close this way, right? We're not using the right hand like we normally would to manipulate the bolt because we're gonna unsettle the rifle, and then you're gonna get frustrated if you lose your sight picture because it's going to be harder to find support side. So really, that's what I have for this stage. So 4 support side shots, back to strong side. You should be plenty comfortable with that. Smallest targets of the match, we're actually engaging the 1/4 inch 3 times, which I haven't seen done before. So like I said, it's going to make or break the stage. Don't be discouraged if you don't score well on this stage. It is a doozy. I wish you the best of luck. I hope these tips and tricks helped. And let me know in the comments if you go shoot this match and if you use some of these strategies and if they help you. But I can't stress enough, this is one of those things you should practice before you go to the match. You should not be trying to learn these things on the fly, which is why I try and release these videos ahead of the first Sunday of the month. So with all that said, if this video helped, throw me a like, comment down below, subscribe to this channel, notifications enabled. And as always, until I see you next time, for the hardest stage of the match, score more points.